Baseball here at 1460.
We'll run down the schedule of the night games for you, following the playing of our national anthem, which follows. Bucking the law of averages because the Red Sox have had a rather sorry month. Kansas City moves into Baltimore while the Detroit Tigers are in Washington. Those are all night games. In the National League, the front-running Pittsburgh Pirates play at St. Louis tonight. Cincinnati moves into Los Angeles for a later starting night game. And the Milwaukee Braves, who hope to get back into the pennant race, have an opportunity as they are in San Francisco tonight. So there are a lot of big ball games in both leagues, as the pennant race in both circuits seems to be taking some sort of shape now. The American League has 5 clubs that are running quite close, and the National League has, at the moment, 3 that are reasonably close, 2 that are very tight, Pittsburgh and the Giants, with the Braves short on games, but within striking distance. Jimmy Pearsall, who has been delighting the fans, not only with his base hits, but with his antics on the field, leads off. Jimmy has been wielding a hot bat for the Indians. Moves into the leadoff spot as Art Ditmar peers in to pick up his sign from Yogi Berra. The windup and the first pitch to Jim Pearsall is swung out here to left center field. The ball is into the gap for an extra base hit. That one may go all the way to the 457-foot mark. Pearsall is rounding second on his way to third base with a sliding triple. Jimmy Pearsall opens the ball game on the first pitch with a triple to deep left center. Now let's pick up Red Barber.
Don't waste any time. Hit the first pitch. He went up there hitting at 315. And now we have Aspromati, who has been doing a great job at second base. He's hitting 291. He's filling in for Johnny Temple, who's been out a couple of weeks. He was hit with a thrown ball on his right ankle, and it becomes a puzzling type of bone bruise. Ken Aspromati. They got him just in the nick of time from Washington. So Pearsall at third, no score, nobody out. A slow curve is high inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Pearsall at third, opening the game with a triple. A curve is just outside and low. Ball 2. Harvey Keene waiting on deck. Tomorrow's latest day, 2 o'clock game, and then 2 Sunday is the start of the doubleheader. 2-0 pitch is swung on, and there is a base hit into center. Pearsall scores, and Aspromati sliced that ball. It looked as though he hit it sort of off the end of the bat, and the ball went on a tremendous curve. It sort of started towards short and wound up back at second base. So, a triple followed by a single, and the Indians have stormed out in front 1-0. That's the start of it. Harvey Keene hitting at 278. Outfield lays back into right field on him. An outside curve, and it is ball 1. Marty leading off first. Skowron holding against him. 1-0 favor Cleveland. Pitch is low for ball 2. 2-0. Keane swinging from the end. He stands well back from the plate. Takes a strike. Slaughter got over. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Third hit of the game. We've had a triple by Pearsall and a single by Marty. As a ground ball hits sharply to short. Kubek up with a toss to Richardson. There's the throw on the first. Just in time for the double play. That ball was hit sharply to Tony. The reason it was close at first base was that Richardson, with the defense back toward right, was a long way off second, and Kubek had to hold the ball and wait for Bobby to come over to take the throw. So it is 6-4-3 for the double play. That's the 46th double play for the Yankees. And now we have Tito Francona hitting .308. And takes a slider in off of his hands for a called strike. Triple, single, double play. There's a foul back. Ditmar pulled the string, changed up. Strike 2. 0-2. Left-hand hitter, standing right in the middle of the box, leans in and takes high inside for a ball. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. They play him to full into right. Ditmar shakes off Yogi, now Narges pitches, and it's a high fly ball back into deep right field. Maris is waiting back on the track, makes the catch. So, 1 run, 2 hits. Score at the end of half an inning. Cleveland 1 and New York coming to bat.
You know, sometimes the way your car performs can be downright embarrassing, especially if it's been stalling freely or idling rough or possibly doesn't have the get-up and go that you're accustomed to. Well, your trouble could be a dirty carburetor, a condition that can affect any car, old or new. Here's how. Exhaust fumes and minute particles of dirt can get by your air cleaner and build up deposits inside along the lower carburetor wall. Even a small amount of these deposits can cause the throttle plate to feed the wrong mixture of air and gasoline to your engine. And you get rough performance and actual gasoline waste. But a dirty carburetor is one embarrassment you can forget about if you use new Atlantic Imperial gasoline. You see, Atlantic Imperial actually goes to work cleaning out the deposits in your carburetor as you drive. What's more, it keeps your carburetor clean, puts more pleasure back into driving. So to end stalling, rough idling, and gasoline waste due to a dirty carburetor, use Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean. Tony Kubek to lead off, with Lopez and Mantle to follow as we get ready for the bottom of the first inning. For the Indians leading 1-0. Pitching to Hank Boyles, his catcher, with Tony Kubek leading off for the Yankees. The windup of the first pitch. Taken inside, ball 1. Red. Kubek hitting at 283. 1-0 favor of the Indians.
Fields a fastball. It is past him. He was swinging. 1-1. Rock started pitching pro ball at 53 at Daytona Beach, Florida. He's had good minor league seasoning. Ball, strike two. That was a slider. Just above the knees on the inside. Two pitch, swung on. There's a high fly ball out into left center. Pearsall, the center fielder, under it. He's got it. Hector Lopez. He's got his average right on up to 325. He's been some ball player lately. He's had 17 hits in his last 35 at-bats. That's a pace of 486. Locke delivers a curveball in there. Strike one. Locke is a compact pitcher. He's not 6 feet. Very much an alive, strong body. Curveball right back over. Call strike two. 0-2. The roster lists them at 5'11", 185 pounds. Pitches outside, ball one. Knapp, the plate umpire, walks halfway out to the mound, so let me see the ball. He's examining it, and finds it's okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One to nothing, Cleveland. That field is around toward right on Lopez. Swinging, fouls the fastball back on the screen. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. One out for New York, last first inning. Lock pumps. Fastball. Count holding, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Right-handed delivers, and there's a fastball hit down to short. Up with it is held. There's a throw over to Power, who one-hands it. He plays a one-handed first base. And boy, he plays it. Now we have Mickey Mantle coming up. Mantle has moved his average up to 260. He's had 9 out of his last 18 at-bats. That's a pace of 500. He's been on base 14 times in his last 25 at-bats. He's had 7 home runs in his last 15 games. He's hit 3 home runs in the last 2 games. Batting left-handed against the right-hander. Takes the fastball high. Ball 1. Hank Foyles back of the plate. Outfield deep around toward right. Mickey sets himself. Locke takes the sign, starts pumping. swings and doesn't get it. Up toward his hand, and it is 1-1. One ball, one strike. Cleveland leading 1-0 here in the first inning. Ralph Howell coaching at first base. Frank Rossetti at third. 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Boy. This fella throws that ball hard. Swinging, fouls it off. One ball, two strikes. Mantle set, clock delivers, and it is high outside. Ball two, 2-2. Taking his time. It's always interesting when you see a pitcher that you have never seen work before. They all work a little differently. Right now, he is making Mantle wait. I mean, ostensibly, he's fixing some ground out there. Mickey finally walked out of the box. Now he's back in. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander delivers, and Mantle hits a curveball fair down by first base. Power fielder throws to Locke, who covers for the out. So the score at the end of the first inning remains Cleveland 1 and New York 0. Well, Joe Ripley just got an AP bulletin. What is it, Joe?
Well, this bulletin just came in on the Associated Press wire, Red. Dateline Boston says the Boston Red Sox have fired manager Billy Jergas. And it continues. Jergas currently is on leave from the ball club. That's the end of the bulletin as it's received right now. There'll probably be details later.
All right, sir. Thank you. Now, some details on the other ball games. Speaking about Boston, the White Sox are up there tonight. Kemmerer is going to go for Chicago, and Brewer will go for Boston. Kansas City's at Baltimore tonight. Hall for the Athletics, and Steve Barber for the Orioles. Detroit is at Washington. Bunning for Detroit, Stubbs for Washington, and Bilko has counted for 3 runs with a home run in the first inning, which is still in progress. This afternoon out at Chicago, the Cubs beat the Phillies 6-1. And a thing that will interest you, I'm sure, is that our old friend Mark Freeman, who was with the Yankees at spring training camp and was sold to the Cubs, pitched this ball game all the way, allowed the 1 run and only 4 hits. Thanks to his 15th home run to help him out of the loss. Pittsburgh at St. Louis, Cincinnati at Los Angeles, Milwaukee at San Francisco tonight. So, we're up to date. This is 1-0 Cleveland, and here is Vic Power. Has the most hits on the ball club. He has 50. Swings, and there's a line drive, which Boyer comes up with at third base. Young Boyer, who was in close, suspicious of a bunt on Power, leaned far to his left and flat on the grass, on the inner infield grass, grabbed the line drive and took the base hit away from Vic Power. So we have 1 out. Power went up there at 331. Here is Woody Held hitting 255 and takes a fastball inside. Ball 1. Held is top man in RBIs, 32. Swings above a curve. Strike 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 pitch. Fastball inside, and it is ball 2. 2-1. Dittmar working for New York, delivers, and there's a bounce ball to third. Boyer up with it, fires over to Skowron. We have 2 up, 2 away. When you see this young man on the infield, you'll see a fellow really operate out there, that's Boyer. And when you come out to the ballpark, I hope a lot of you will be out here the next couple of days, watch the throw that this fellow has. That ball just goes on a clothesline. And accurately. Now we have George Strickland. Takes a curve over for a called strike. Right-hand hitter. George is 3 for 23 this year. Very smooth fielder. Pitches in the dirt low outside, ball 1. When I first saw George playing, he was with Pittsburgh. Then came over to Cleveland and was their shortstop for many years in that pennant year that they had. 54. Last couple of years, he's been over at third base. All right, 1-0 favor the Indians. 2 out, top of the second, nobody on. Dittmar delivers a curve that's over. Slow curve for a called second strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strickland chokes up on the bat about an inch. He just tries to meet the ball. Takes a curve for called strike 3. Hits the inside corner. So, that's the first strikeout of the evening. And the score at the end of an inning and a half. The Indians 1 and the Yankees nothing.
Are you really satisfied with the way your car has been acting lately? Maybe it's nothing you can actually put your finger on. More frequent stalling perhaps, or rough idling. Less miles per gallon. Now your trouble could be a dirty carburetor, something that can happen to any car, even a relatively new one. You see, exhaust fumes and other air contaminants get by your air cleaner and build up deposits on the carburetor wall near the throttle plate. Even a small amount of these deposits can cause the throttle plate to feed an improper mixture of air and gasoline to your engine. And the result is rough performance and actual gasoline waste. But now you can eliminate the problems caused by a dirty carburetor with new Atlantic Imperial gasoline. Atlantic Imperial actually cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. So, to end stalling, rough idling, and gasoline waste due to a dirty carburetor, use Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that adds pleasure to your driving and keeps your car on the go.
Now we have Roger Maris, first up, last of the second inning, hitting .331. He had really taken over right field. Swings and fouls it into the dirt. Strike 1. He is the home run leader in the league, the RBI man. Had 12 home runs in his last 21 games, 4 in his last 6. Outfield deep, around toward right. Maris swings, hits a high fly ball into short right center field. Aspromonte, the second baseman, is out under it, and he has it. So, up fly, second baseman, and Mr. Barra steps in, hitting .327. Outfield remains around into right, but not as drastically so as it was for Maris. This Pearsall is really playing all over center field. He moves a great deal. He's a wonderful center fielder. Bobby Locke delivers, and it's a fastball for a call strike. Waist high on the outside. 0-1. to the second. Block delivers, and it's a fastball low inside. 1-1. Young man pitching for the first time against the Yankees, and of course, the first time at the stadium. Fine young pitching around here the next few days. Berra hits a curveball high out to left field where Fancona is under it. Tito gathers it in, and we have 2 men out, and Bill Skowron marches up to the plate, hitting .303. Tomorrow, Whitey Ford will go against Mudcat Grant, and Sunday it'll be all strong young right arms, Coates and Gerber. This is the first start for Gerber since the Yankees brought him back for Richmond, where he was 7-1. And for the Indians, it'll be Bell and Perry. Skowron at .303. Takes a curveball over for a call strike. Strike one pitch. Fastball is low. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch, swung on as a curveball, beaten foul. We said a moment ago, it is always interesting to watch a pitcher for the first time. And I want to get Rizzuto to come in here at the end of this second inning and tell us his appraisal of this young right-hander. Being a former great ball player, it seems to me he's throwing that ball very hard. And when he throws the curveball, it breaks. So we'll see what Rizzuto says in a moment. Right now, Mr. Skowron is trying to hit him. So let's see what Bill does with the problem. Takes the fastball low inside to the knees, and it is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I was talking with Mel Harder before the game, and when you stop and think about it, see, the 2-2 pitch, low outside, a breaking ball, ball 3. I don't recall a year in which so many young pitchers that could throw hard as we've had in the American League this year. You look at the Baltimore staff, look at some of these youngsters that the Yankees have come up with. This Cleveland club. I mean, they can all throw it. All right, he's 3-2 with Skowron. Delivers, and Moose hits a bounding ball to short. Held up with it by the bag, over to first, in time. Nice play, and Skowron is out. So the score at the end of 2 innings, Cleveland 1 and New York nothing. And you know,
now you spend good money for your car, so naturally you want the very best performance from it. A dirty carburetor, however, can rob your car of power. It can cause stalling, rough idling, and waste gasoline. How can you keep your carburetor clean? Easy. Just use Atlantic Imperial gasoline. New Atlantic Imperial gasoline cleans your carburetor while you drive and keeps it clean. That's Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that ends the dirty carburetor problem for good. Let's take this opportunity to pause for station identification. This is the home of Champions Network.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, 29 minutes after 8.
Ready now for the top of the 3rd inning. And Hank Foyles comes out to lead off for the Indians. The Indians picked up a run in the 1st inning when Jimmy Pearsall hit the first ball pitch for a booming triple to left center and came home on Ken Aspromonte's single. Was with the Pittsburgh Ball Club. The first pitch to Foyles is swung out and dribbled foul right at the plate. Strike 1.
Beats it into the ground. Foul, strike one. Coyle's hitting .391. He's 9 for 23s. Takes a curveball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He started out this year with Kansas City, and then they sent him on down to Columbus. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. There's a fly ball to deep left center field. Mantle is going back, and pulls it down way out there. Gee, he hit that ball a ton. I believe in any other ballpark in the league, that would have been a home run. Any other ballpark in the league. Mantle, just as he was ready to leave the grass out there in deep left center, made the catch. Now we have the pitcher, Bobby Locke. He's a good hitting pitcher. He's 1 for 2, and he hit when he was up last year. I think in the first ball game he pitched last year, he hit himself a home run. Well, the crowd's still buzzing over Mantle overhauling that ball. Locke swings and puts the wood to it. There's a line drive into right center that gets away from Mantle as he tries to shoot string, and it rolls on to the auxiliary fence. Maris retrieves it, and it's a double for Locke. He's all business. He doesn't hit like a pitcher. Mantle kept coming in on the ball, tried to shoestring it, and the ball hit about 2 or 3 feet in front of him, bounced off of his chest. Maris retrieved it as a double for Locke, the right center. Mickey wasn't going to quit on it. It's the 3rd hit now for Cleveland, and here's Pearsall, who began the ball game, hitting the very first pitch for a triple. And Astromonte followed with a single, and that's the 1 run that we have so far tonight. Locke with a jacket on leads off second, and Pearsall bluffs a bunt and takes the fastball over for a called strike. 0-1. 1 man out. Whitmore deals low outside. It gets away from Berra, and Locke goes over to third base. Wild pitch. Richardson comes in from second, talking to Ditmar. One man out. The infield is up with the runner at third base. Ditmar deals, and there's a ground ball back to the pitcher. The runner is held, and Pearsall is easily thrown out at first base. We have Ken Astromonte, who singled in the first inning. He has been a lifesaver for Cleveland, playing while Temple has been out of there for a couple of weeks with a bad ankle. And they don't know when Joyner's going to get back because the ankle seems to improve one day and then is bad again the next. I know when he came in from taking batting practice, his manager, Joe Gordon, asked him tonight, how is it? And he said, it's worse than it was yesterday. Aspromonte cuts to the curve, doesn't get it. Strike one. Locke with his double and a wild pitch to third, 2 out. The infield is back. Outfield around toward left on Aspromonte. Smallish right-hand batter. Takes a curve outside for a ball. 1-1. Crowd, 2 hot ball clubs. Baseball's great stadium. There's a change of pace that floats right over for call, strike 2. When I was a boy, I used to call that a slow ball. And that is the pitch that when it comes over for a strike always seems to excite the crowd. One reason they can really see it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curve swung on and line foul down in the left field corner. One and two. Ditmar trying to keep the ball game 1-0. Stands there so long that Astromonte finally backs out. One and two. The pitch swung on, grounded down to short. Kubek up with it. The throw over to first in time. Astromonte is out, and Ditmar gets out of the threat. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and the score ended 2.5 innings. The Indians won, and the Yankees nothing.
Ever stop to think about the little things that add up to having a good day? Things like a bright, sunny morning, hot coffee, toast done the way you like it. And when you hop in your car and you want the engine to start right up, to idle smoothly, to give good performance while you're on the go. Many times it's the little things that keep an engine running at its best, like a sound and clean carburetor. Today's Atlantic Imperial gasoline is especially designed to clean your carburetor as you drive and keep it clean. A clean carburetor means smoother performance and greater gasoline economy. Make every day a good day. Start off with Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go.
Locke is getting ready to pitch to Richardson, Boyer, and Ditmar, last of the third, and we'll pause for station identification. Bobby Richardson is to be the first batter. 217. The outfield is rather shallow on him, especially Pearsall in center, and it is straight away. Strickland is up a couple of steps at third, suspicious of a bunt. Locke delivers. It's a fastball in close to the hands. Ball 1. 1-0. Ball, no strikes. Pitch low outside, ball 2. Locke is deliberate about his pitching. He's in no hurry. Now he's pumping. Fastball inside, ball 3. Mike Falls, the catcher, walks halfway out to the mound to give him some encouragement, also to slow him up a little bit. He hasn't been far away from the plate, but he hadn't been over it. All right, 3-0. The pitch is over. 3-1. Bobby cuts his eyes down at Frank Crosetti, who gives the orders from Stengel. The 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. So Richardson first up is on, last of the third, to split the tying run at first. And here is Cletus Boyer, hitting .214. He is meeting the ball. He's closed his stance. The pitch, there goes Richardson. There is a swing and a miss at the plate, and Bobby is out. Nope, the ball is dropped. The ball is dropped by Astromonte. There was first the out sign given by Drummond, who was standing right on top of the play, and then and he had the out sign on, and then suddenly he switched to the safe, so the ball came out of Astromonte's glove, and Richardson, who was out, is not out. The hit and run was on. Boyer swung and did not get a low outside curve. And the second baseman, of course, draws an error. Bobby at second base. 1-0 Cleveland. There's a line drive in the left center for a base hit for Boyer. Richardson is coming in to tie it up. Boyer's on his way to second base, and he has it for a double. So the ball game is even, and this is the first hit. The error is immediately turned into a run. And up now is Art Ditmar, who is a good hitting pitcher. Infield is up looking for the bunt. Vic Power is a third of the way in from first base. Boyer hit a real line drive right in the alley in left center. Bobby Locke delivers, and the pitch is low inside, ball one. And this is his second start since they brought him up from Indianapolis. First time he's been scored on. He shut out Detroit. Of course, this is not an earned run. However, they play for runs, and the runs are 1-1. Delivers a curve swung on and missed. Ditmar was not bunting. However, he may be on the next one. We'll see. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Pitch. He bunts at it and fouls it. Strike two. Let's see. I think the Indians are still expecting Ditmar to bunt. Yep, Powers is still in at first base. Boyer with his double. Halfway around. Nobody out. Clark taking the sign from Foyles. Still looking for the sign. Now he comes to his set position. He pitches. It's a high outside curve. Ball two. 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Clock is set. Deals. There's a bounce ball. It's a base hit through the middle for Ditmar, and Boyer has to hold at third base. Pearsall charged in a hurry. Boyer could not break when the ball was hit because for a moment it looked as though the pitcher had a chance. He had to hesitate, and then it was too late to try and make it home. So it is a single through the middle for Ditmar. Runners at first and third, and here's Tony Kubek, who hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. 1-1 tie. Infield is in double play depth. Kubek swings, hits the ball to Power, who throws to second base here, and here is Boyer in. The throw to first is the ball and took a look at the runner at third to be sure he wasn't coming in. And Boyer wasn't. And the second that Power threw the ball down to second base, bingo, here came Boyer. So the run is in, and by the time they got the relay back to first, Kubek, who can move, was across the bag. So it is a force at second base on Ditmar, the first baseman to the shortstop. Boyer scores. The run batted in for Kubek. This second run is earned, and the Yankees lead 2-1, and here's Hector Lopez, who's got the hottest bat. Takes the curveball over for a strike. Lopez was thrown out short in the first inning. Nothing in one. Kubek dances down off first base. We have one out. There's a line drive foul. Strike two. No balls, two strikes. Infield, double play depth. Ready, delivers a pitch out, but Kubek wasn't going. Ball one. One ball, two strikes. Throw to first, nothing doing. 2. Clock is being quite deliberate. Lopez crouches. 1-2 pitch is swung on. There's a line drive in the center. Base hit. Kubek holds up at second. He wasn't running with the pitch. And this Lopez continues to hit that ball, doesn't he? Here's the big fella, Mickey Mantle. Outfield around toward right and deep on Mickey, batting left-handed. The Yankees on top, 2-1. Young right-hander Bobby Locke delivers, and it is into the knees. Ball one. One ball, no strike. Deals. Mantle swings. There's a line drive base hit into center. Kubek is around third. He's coming on for the plate. And Lopez has to stop at second base. The throw goes to third. And it is 3-1 New York. The Yankees are hitting Locke hard. That was a clothesline of the center field for Mickey, and it is now 3-1 New York. That's the 25th RBI for Mantle. He's moving along now at a 500 pace. We told you the first time he came up that Mantle has had 9 for his last 18, so he now has 10 for his last 20 official at-bats. Roger Maris popped up to second in the second inning as the hitter. Lopez is the runner at second base. Mantle at first. Outfield is deep around toward right on Roger. The Cleveland bullpen is alive. The Yankees are swinging the wood here in the third inning. Locke delivers, and it is low inside, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Ladies' Day tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then a doubleheader Sunday. We got the baseball for you at the ballpark. Locke delivers, and there's a line drive that Powell grabs with one hand, steps on the bag for an unassisted double play. Maris slams his helmet down. He really hit it, but a line drive for Powers, who plays with one hand. He just one-handed the ball and stepped over on first base. That's all there was to it. So that double play puts the brakes to it. But not before the Yankees got 3 runs. They took full advantage of the error down at second base. That opened the door. 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 error, 1 man left. And the totals at the end of 3. The Yankees 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The Indians 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error.
Say, all you outboard racing fans, don't forget, if you're in the North Country this month, in fact, next weekend, plan to see the big Thousand Island International Outboard Marathon, which will be held June 11th and 12th in Alexandria Bay. That's the International Outboard Marathon next weekend in Alexandria Bay. Cleans your carburetor as you drive. That's what new Atlantic Imperial gasoline does. Keeps it clean, too. Try it and see for yourself. Little Phil Rizzuto is handling things radio side now. Phil.
Actually, the Indians had 2 chances to snuff out the Yankee rally that time. The chance to get Richardson on the steal, and then Vic Powers' fine backhand stop, but then his delay of throwing the ball to second allowed Boyer to score. One of the 3 runs is unearned against Locke. Here's the pitch to Keene. It's over, strike called. Ditmar on the mound. Fastball hit slowly down the third baseline, but fouled. It kicked off Keene's left foot. Picked up by Cletus Boyer. Flipped in a Larry Knapp for a look at the ball. Rubs it up and keeps it in play. 2 strikes on Harvey Keene. On deck, Tito Francona. The 2-strike pitch is line to center field, a base hit, as Harvey Keene hit a 0-2 pitch that was high and outside right through the middle. That's hit number 4 off Ditmar, and it brings up Tito Francona, who flied high and deep to right field in the first inning. The first 5 men in the Indian batting order are right up around or over 300. Pearsall, Aspromonte, Keene, Francona, and Power. There's a soft toss to first. Harvey Keene back in plenty of time. Ditmar stretches. Pitch to Francona is popped down the left field line. It's curving and goes foul. There's a ball that Lopez could never have reached, as Hector was playing over in left center a little bit and was far enough down the line where Boyer nor Kubek could reach it, but it was fouled by about 5 or 6 feet. 1 strike on Tito Francona. Francona bats him left-handed. Here's a stretch by Ditmar. Pitch outside. Ball 1-1-1. On deck is Victor Power. Big crowd here tonight to see the league-leading Cleveland Indians and the red-hot New York Yankees. Yankees leading 3-1 in the top of the 4th. Keene leading off first. The pitch is hit right in front of the plate. Ditmar coming down up would have to hustle a throw in time to get Francona. Moving to second is Keene. That ball hit the plate, rolled about halfway out to the mound, and then almost stopped dead. As Yogi started out for it, Ditmar hesitated, but then Art came in and had to make the play. It was not a sacrifice as he swung at the ball. Keene is down at second. Here's Vic Power, who lined to third. Cletus Boyer making a spectacular diving catch. He was playing Power in, and Vic hit the ball right on the nose. Pitch to Power is popped in the air. It is short left field. Kubek going back. Mantle in, and Mantle can't get it. And Keene is going to third base, and Power is pulling up at second with a double. And Mickey really gave that a gallant try as he slid about 10 feet on the outfield grass, got his glove on the ball, but his momentum kicked the ball right out of his glove. It rolled about 20 feet away from him. Harvey Keene had gone back to tag up at second and could only make third. And Powell, who was running from the minute he hit the ball, ends up at second base. A double to short center field by Vic Power. We knew Kubek couldn't get to it, and Mantle, with a sudden burst of speed, did catch up to the ball, but couldn't hold on to it. And here's Woody Held, who bounced out to third base in the second inning. Yankees 3, the Indians 1. We're in the top of the fourth. Vic Power with a big lead off second. Harvey Keene, a short lead off third. Power is at least halfway to third. Now he's going further. The pitch is hit on the ground, is short. The run scores. Kubek's throw goes to first in time to get Held. And it's now a 3-2 ball game. Boy, that Vic Power was better than halfway to third base when Held hit the ball. I've never seen such a big lead. An RBI for Woody Held. His 33rd of the year. He leads the Indians in that department. Also leads in home runs with 11. Here's George Strickland. Strickland was called out on strikes in the second inning. Vic Power remained at second. Actually, he could have gone to third easily had he kept running, but he wasn't quite sure what Harvey Keene was going to do, so he hustled back to second. The pitch is low inside, ball one. Power is an exciting ball player to watch, whether he's at bat, on the bases, or in the field. 2 men out, 1 run in. The Yankees 3, the Indians 2, top of the fourth. Ditmar sets. Fastball over the outside corner. Strike one, 1-1. On deck, Hank Foyles, the catcher. All right, here's the stretch by Ditmar. The pitch is hit into center field. Mickey Mantle moves in 2 steps under it and makes the catch. And for the Indians in the top of the fourth, 1 run on 2 base hits. No Yankee errors and 1 man left. The score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Yankees 3 and the Indians 2.
Just about all of us are familiar with Atlantic's outdoor billboards. Beautiful color photographs of mountains, farms, lakes, and many other appealing scenes. And you're familiar, too, with the words, Atlantic keeps your car on the go. When you connect the words and pictures, you get the idea of just what Atlantic means. Quality products to meet your driving needs. Today's Atlantic Imperial gasoline, for example, now cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. With Atlantic Imperial, you can enjoy smooth engine performance, greater gasoline economy. Use Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go.
.1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. 1 minute before 9.
In the bottom of the fourth inning, Yogi Berra will be leading off for the Yankees. Yogi flied to left field in the second inning. Yankees 3, Indians 2, bottom of the fourth. Berra, Skowron, and Richardson to face Bobby Locke. First pitch to Yogi is a curve over strike call. Larry Knapp calling balls and strikes tonight. Frank Crissetti coaching at third. Ralph Houck down at first. Ground ball hit to first. Vic Power gloves it one-handed, races to the bag for the unassisted putout. He's the best glove man in the American League at first base, that's for sure. Bill Skowron, who bounced to the shortstop his first time at bat, steps into the batter's box. Pitch to the Moose is swung at and missed, strike one. By the pitcher. Locke can't get it. A base hit for Bill Skowron. A pretty push bunt by the Moose. Got it by Bobby Locke, who dove for it, slowed it down a little with his glove, then fielded it lying flat on the ground as he tried to threw it over Vic Power's head very softly, but not far enough to allow Skowron to advance. It's a bunt single for the Moose. Hit number 5 off Bobby Locke. Both teams now have 5 base hits. The Yankees lead 3-2. Bobby Richardson, who walked in the third inning, was safe at second when Aspromonte dropped Boyle's throw. Richardson had been called out and then came around to score on Boyer's double. Vic Power holding first against Skowron. One away. Bobby Locke checking the sign from Hank Foyles. Here's the stretch by the right-hander. His pitch is inside, ball one. Vic Power walking over to talk with Bobby Locke. One ball, no strikes on Bobby Richardson. One man out. Here's the stretch by Locke. The pitch is over. Strike called. 1-1. To the stretch position. Check of Skowron at first. The pitch is hit on the ground. A base hit to right field. Moose is around second and holds on. The throw comes in to second base. Bobby Richardson punched the ball between Vic Power and Ken Aspromonte. And the Yankees have runners at first and second with one out and the batter Cletus Boyer. Boyer's double in the third inning to deep left center field drove in Richardson. Having a little action in the Indian bullpen right now. 3-2, the Yankees lead, bottom of the fourth. Skowron at second, Richardson at first. Boyer the batter. Stretch by Locke. The pitch is low, ball one. Jimmy Pearsall continues to play a very shallow center field. Here's the stretch. The pitch is high, ball 2-0. Boyer started to swing and checked it. Had to wait for Larry Knapp to make the decision. Dick Stigman, the left-hander, loosening up in the Indian bullpen. The 2-0 pitch is outside, ball 3, 3-0. Bobby Locke, who had retired 6 men in a row the first 2 innings without a base hit. Gave up 4 hits in the 3rd inning, has given up 2 hits here in the 4th, and has a 3-0 count on Cletus Boyer with action in the Indian bullpen. The 3-0 pitch is over, strike call. Boyer started to throw his bat away and run down to first base. 3-1 on Cleat. Aspromonte trying to hold Scarron close at second. Here's a stretch by Locke. There go the runners. The ball is high. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The second walk given up by Locke. The bases are loaded, and the batter due to come up, Art Ditmar. And here comes Ditmar out of the Yankee dugout. Art singled to center in the 3rd inning to keep the Yankee rally going. After attempting to bunt and getting 2 strikes on him, he swung away and bounced a single right over the pitcher's head out to center field. 3 men on, 1 out, and the Yankees leading 3-2. Frank Crissetti talking with Bill Scarron down at third base. Strickland is playing in at third, Vic Power in at first, and held it short, and Aspromonte at second are playing halfway. Richardson is at second. Boyer at first. Here's the windup. The pitch to Ditmar is fouled back, strike 1. Bobby Locke rubbing up a new baseball. 3-2, the Yankees lead here in the bottom of the 4th. The wind-up by the right-hander. The pitch is hit on the ground. Back to the pitcher. Up with it. Throws to the plate for 1. Back to first. Double play. He hit it right back to Bobby Locke, who bobbled the ball momentarily, picked it up at his feet, threw to the catcher, back to first, double play, and the Yankees failed to score. They had a big chance that time for the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs on 2 base hits. No Indian errors. 2 men left to score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees 3, the Indians 2, and we pause for station identification. A special announcement, and once again a vote of confidence spelled the kiss of death for Billy Jurgis as far as managing the Red Sox. Billy Jurgis was fired today from the Red Sox as manager. The announcement of the action was made only minutes before the Red Sox-White Sox game. Remember, Jurgis was given a leave of absence 2 days ago and was ordered to take a rest by the doctors. He was reported to be under severe strain due to the slump that sent his club to last place in the American League. And the Red Sox made no mention of a permanent successor, but said Coach Del Baker, who has been serving as an interim manager, will continue in that capacity. Tough break for Billy. That's the way the ball bounces. And right now, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by the crisp refresher Ballantine beer. You know, Ballantine's the light beer with true lager flavor, and that's what makes it the crisp refresher. Leading off for the Indians here in the top of the 5th, Hank Foyles, who sent Mickey Mantle over 400 feet to deep left center field before Mantle could pull down his long drive. Didn't look like Mickey was ever going to catch up to that ball. The pitch to Foyles is high, ball 1. Quick look at the scoreboard. Red Sox 2, White Sox 1 at the end of 2.5. Kansas City 3, Baltimore 3 at the end of 3. Tigers 4, Washington nothing. Tigers 5, now Washington nothing at the end of 3. Pitch to Foils is swung at and missed. Strike one, 1-1. The National League, the Cubs defeated the Phillies 6-1. Pittsburgh at St. Louis, Cincinnati at Los Angeles, Milwaukee at San Francisco start later on. 1-1 on Foils. Curve is swung and it missed. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curve, foul tip. Bounces over towards the Yankee dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Foils. Nobody out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning. The Yankees lead 3-2. All right, Ditmar checking the sign from Yogi. Here's the windup. Pitch is hit foul outside of third. Nice play by Boyer again. Man, that Boyer is all over the place. He dove through the air to take a base hit away from Vic Power. He dove on both knees that time and backhanded the ball, even though it was foul off the bat of Hank Foils. He doesn't appear to be fast, but he moves real quick. Good reflexes. Hank Foyle, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Started this season with the Kansas City A's. A drive to deep left field. Lopez going back, way back, and makes the catch just in front of the fence. And Hank Foils has really put the wood to the ball both times at bat. First time he sent Mantle to deep left center. This time he sent Lopez against the barrier in deep left field. One away. Here's Bobby Locke, who doubled to right center field in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Locke is a curve low outside, ball 1. Nothing pitch is in there. Strike called. 1-1 the count. Jimmy Pearsall on deck. The 1-1 pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop. Kubek is up with the ball on 2 hops. Throws to Skowron 2-way. That brings up Jimmy Pearsall, who opened the ball game, hitting the first pitch to deep left center field for a triple and scoring on Aspromonte's single. But then in the 3rd inning, with a runner at 3rd and 1 out, he hit back to the box. Jimmy 1 for 2. Came into the game batting .315. Pitch is high, ball 1. 2 men out and nobody on. 3-2 the Yankees lead. Top of the 5th inning. There's a base hit to left field. We had a wait as Kubek leaped high in the air and almost got his glove on that ball. Pearsall gets his 2nd base hit of the night. A solid line drive to left. Jimmy is using a much heavier bat this year, by the way. He's gone to a 37-ounce bat and not swinging quite as hard, and he's getting better wood on the ball. With 2 out, here's Ken Aspromonte, who singled to center field in the 1st inning to drive in a run and then bounced to short in the 3rd. Timeout as Jimmy Pearsall awaits his regular cap from the Indian bat boy. Pearsall has 9 stolen bases, by the way. He likes to run those bases. You give him the least little opportunity and he'll go. 2 men out. Here's the stretch by Ditmar. The pitch to Aspromonte is a base hit to right field. Pearsall around second. He's going to go to third, and Maris bobbled the ball, and he'd have been a dead duck. Boy, he rounded second base just as Maris got to that ball. And with Maris's arm, he would have been out, but he kept going, and maybe that's why Roger bobbled the ball momentarily. Tried to hurry it a little too soon. A single and an error. A single and an error. Woods runners at first and third with 2 out. And the batter, Harvey Keene. Keene hit into a double play and single to center. He scored 1 run. The pitch to Keene. Strike called on the outside corner. Keene seems to be standing deeper in the batter's box. He's just about as far away as you can possibly get. Reminds me a little of the old Rogers Hornsby stance. I don't remember seeing Hornsby play too much, but Bill Velastro and Bob Delaney do, and they were telling me about Hornsby's stance. Here's the pitch. Low outside. Ball 1, 1-1. Aspromonte leading off first. Pearsall off third. 2 men are out. Pearsall's bouncing up and down like a rubber ball at third, trying to distract Art Ditmar. Pitch to Keene. Curveball hit. Foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually, the way Keene is standing, it looks like a ball over the outside part of the plate. He wouldn't be able to reach it, but he steps into every pitch. Here's the stretch by Ditmar. Low, ball 2, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 men on. 3-2 the Yankees lead. Top of the 5th inning. Again, Ditmar stretches. Pearsall starts down the line. The pitch is fouled into the upper deck and back of the plate. Count holds at 2-2. Tito Francona is on deck. All right, Ditmar ready again for the 2-2 delivery. High, ball 3, full count. And with the count 3-2 and 2 out, Aspromonte will be off with the pitch at first base. Look at Pearsall at third telling Aspromonte what to do. He's yelling, when he comes down, you go. And they want the umpires to make Ditmar stop when he comes to his waist. That's what Ditmar and JoJo Moore, the third base coach, JoJo White, excuse me. All right, here's the stretch by Ditmar. There goes Aspromonte. The slow curve is popped in a short right field, but curving foul and back into the stands, out of play. Maris coming full blast, could not have caught up to that one had it stayed fair. It was hit right off the end of the bat. JoJo White coaching at third and Red Crest over at first. Again, the stretch. Quick throw to first, but Aspromonte's back. He's not taking a big lead, but breaks just as soon as Ditmar delivers the ball. Once again, Ditmar sets. The payoff pitch is lined. Fair ball in the left field corner. Pearsall scores. Aspromonte pulls up at third, and Keene goes to second base as Lopez throws come into third base. The score is tied, 3-3. The 2 are out. Pearsall single, Aspromonte single, and Harvey Keene doubled. And the score is tied 3-3 with the batter Tito Francona and runners at second and third and 2 out. For Keene, his 7th double of the year and his 20th run batted in. Francona is 0 for 2. Fly to right and hit back to the box. Ditmar pitching with his full windup. Keane leads off second. Aspromonte off third. Pitch to Francona, low inside, ball one. On deck, Vic Power. The 1-0 pitch is hit on the ground. Richardson up with it. Throws to Skowron in time for the out. A pretty play by Bobby Richardson. But the Indians come up with 1 run on 3 hits. 1 Yankee error. 2 men left to score at the end of 4.5 innings. Cleveland 3 and the Yankees 3. Fifth inning, the Yankees have the top of their batting order, ready to face Bobby Locke, Tony Kubek, Hector Lopez, and Mickey Mantle. Tony's 0 for 2. Fly to center, hit into a force play. Tony has scored 1 run tonight and has driven in a run. Locke into the windup. The pitch to Kubek. All the way over everybody's head and back to the screen. It was not a knockdown pitch with Kubek, a left-hand hitter, was way to the far left of home plate, away from Kubek, but over Foyle's head and over Larry Knapp's head and right against the screen. Ball 1. The score. Pitch low inside, ball 2. 2-0. Cleveland has 8 base hits. The Yankees have 6. Pitch low inside, ball 3. 3-0. Yankees scored all 3 of their runs in the 3rd inning. The pitch right down the middle, strike call. 3-1 on Kubek. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Outside, ball 4. Kubek walks. That's the 3rd walk given up by Bobby Locke. And here's Hector Lopez, who bounced to short and singled. Hector now has 18 base hits in his last 37 at-bats. Lopez looks down at Frank Crissetti. On deck is Mickey Mantle. Here's a stretch by Locke. Pitch to Lopez is a curve over strike call. Hector bluffed the bunt that time. Mark picks up some dirt rubbing it on the ball. One strike on Lopez. Nobody out. Kubek leads off first. Quick throw to first, Tony back. Lopez steps out of the box. Time is called. Cleveland outfield playing Lopez straight away. The one-strike pitch, curve, line to Vic Powell, who makes another double play. A leaping one-hand catch. Boy, that power seems to be in the right spot at the right time all the time. As Lopez, trying to hit the ball between first and second, hit a solid line drive. Vic Powell, with beautiful timing, leaped as high as he could, made the catch. Kubek was a dead duck as he had taken 2 steps toward second. That's the second double play that Vic Powell has made that way. And here's Mickey Mantle, who bounced to first and single to center. He's driven in 1 run. 3-3 the score, bottom of the 5th. Here's the first pitch to Mantle. A foul out of play, strike 1. Vic Powell has been involved in 3 double plays tonight, but the other one went from the pitcher to the catcher to the first baseman. Out now, nobody on. Fastball is high. Ball 1, 1-1. On deck, Roger Maris. Lock into the windup. Curve way high outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lock goes to the rosin bag this time. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Mickey. A foul back in the upper deck and out of play. 2-2 on Mick. The Indians were a 1.5 games ahead of the Orioles and 3.5 ahead of the Yankees. Pitch high outside, ball 3. 3-2. Mickey has 10 hits in his last 20 at-bats. That's a .500 average. Now the payoff pitch to Mantle. Way high outside, ball 4. Gets away from Foyles running to the screen. Mantle is around first and then holds on. Boy, Locke has really been wild. And Joe Gordon, the Indian manager, coming out of the dugout. Locke has not only been missing the plate, but missing his catcher as well. In this inning, he has thrown 2 back to the screen, and that's all for Bobby Locke, as Joe Gordon signals for the relief pitcher. And while we're waiting for the relief pitcher to come on, let's pause for station identification.
June of 1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. 28 minutes and 30 seconds after 9.
So Bobby Locke is out of there after pitching 4 2/3 innings in which he allowed 6 hits walked 4, didn't strike out anybody, and has allowed 3 runs so far. A left-hander coming on. Looks like Dick Stigman. We'll wait for the announcement. He has his jacket on. If it is Stigman, he made a tremendous relief job against the Yankees last time he came into the stadium. That's who it is, Dick Stigman, the young left-hander. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds from Nimrod, Minnesota. This is his 15th appearance of the year. He's won 2 and lost 3. And the night he relieved against the Yankees back on May the 10th, he pitched 2 1/3 innings. He gave up only 1 hit and struck out 1. That was the game he won in relief of Jim Perry. He also relieved against the Yankees on May the 17th and saved the game for Gary Bell. This is his 3rd appearance against the Yankees this year, all of them in relief. He'll be facing Roger Maris with 2 out and Mickey Mantle at first base. The Yankees scored all 3 runs in the 3rd inning when Richardson walked. Got safely to second when Aspromonte dropped the throw from Hank Boyles. Scored on Boyer's double. Ditmar singled to center, moving Boyer to third. Kubek bounced to first, and Boyer scored when Vic Power threw the ball to Woody Held at shortstop. Then Lopez singled to center, and Mantle singled to center, driving in Tony Kubek. All 3 runs for the Yankees. Meanwhile, the Indians scored 1 in the first on a triple by Pearsall and a single by Aspromonte. 1 in the 4th on a single by Keene and a double by Vic Power. And 1 in the 5th, after 2 are out, Pearsall, Aspromonte single, and Keene doubles. Has tied a record held by many players, the most double plays unassisted in the game, 2. The last player to do it, though, was Steve Bilko of the Cards in 1953. All right, here's Roger Maris stepping in. He takes a curve high outside, ball 1. Mantle is at first base with 2 out, and the score tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. On deck, Yogi Berra. Curve is over, strike called, 1-1 the count. Throw to first, and Mantle's back. Hank Boyles was looking at the pitcher when he threw that ball to first base. He almost picked Vic Power off. Mantle had to jump back into first base. That was a tricky play. Got to watch those National Leaguers when they get over here in the American League. Here's the stretch. Pitch is swung at and missed, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left-hander sets. There goes Mantle. The ball is hit. Vic Power backhands it. Stigman's going to be late covering, and Maris beats it out. Dick Stigman did not get off the mound, and that should go as a base hit because Maris beats Stigman to the bag. It does. It's a base hit for Roger Maris. Mantle was going, and Vic Power had to go far to his right. Got the ball in plenty of time, but Stigman was late breaking off the mound, and Maris beat it out. Here comes Yogi Berra. Yogi fly to left and bounce to first. So now it's 2 out. Mantle at second, Maris at first. Score tied 3-3. Yogi Berra the batter. Very seldom do you see a pitcher fail to break off that mound. Well, I guess it happens to relief pitchers more than starting pitchers. All right, here's the stretch by Stigman. Pitch to Yogi is swung at and missed, strike 1. The ball was in the dirt. Yogi went after a bad low curveball. But he's hit pitches like that right out of the park. It's hard to tell what's a bad pitch to Yogi. Roger Maris's first hit against the Cleveland Indians in 18 at-bats. That's both here and on the road. So Raj has not had too much luck with the Cleveland pitching this year, and that's about the only team he hasn't had any success with. Here's the stretch. The pitch is fouled back out of play. Strike two. Fan made a nice play of that ball as it kicked off the top of the upper deck. 0-2 on Yogi. 2 out and 2 on. Bottom of the fifth. Yankees 3 and the Indians 3. Big crowd here tonight at Yankee Stadium watching the ball game. The pitch to Yogi is hit on the ground at first base. Vic Power up with it. Races, no, he throws to the pitcher covering in time. He was going to take it himself. Saw that he couldn't beat Yogi and then flipped to Sigmund, who that time got there in time. For the Yankees in the bottom of the fifth, no runs. 1 hit. No Indian errors. 2 men left. The score at the end of 5 full innings. Cleveland, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The Yankees, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. In the American League, now at the end of 4 full innings, the White Sox scored 6 in the top of the 4th. They lead the Red Sox 7-2 at the end of 4. Kemmerer for Chicago. Brewer started, Sturdivant in the 4th. Kansas City 3, Baltimore 3 at the end of 4. Hall against Barber. Detroit 7 and Washington nothing at the end of 3.5. And those Tigers are red hot now. Bunning for Detroit. Staub started, Lee in the 1st, Kralik in the 4th. Steve Bilko homered in the 1st with 2 on. In the National League, the Cubs defeated the Phillies 6-1. Mark Freeman all the way. Former Yankee, pitched a 4-hitter for the Cubs. Owens, the loser. Gomez in the 5th, Robinson in the 8th. Ernie Banks, his 15th homer of the year in the 3rd with 1 on. Cardinals lead the Pirates 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Haddix against Jackson. Cincinnati at Los Angeles and Milwaukee at San Francisco start later on. In the 6th inning, Vic Powell, who lined to 3rd and doubled a short center field, will lead off. Powell wearing uniform number 10. Swings the bat back and forth, keeps it low. Art Ditmar on the mound for New York. Pitch to Power. Hit on the ground to 3rd. Boyer up with it. Over to Skowron, 1 away, and Power went after a bad low curve that time. He tried to hit it by Cletus Boyer, who was playing him in. 1 away. Woody Held, who bounced to 3rd and bounced to short. Though Woody is batting only .255, at least he came into the game with that average. He has 5 doubles, 1 triple, 11 homers, and with his RBI tonight has 33 runs batted in. Pitch to Woody is outside, ball 1. On deck, George Strickland. The 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2, 2-0. It'll be Whitey Ford against Jim Mudcat Grant. That's Ladies' Day tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees and the Indians. The 2-0 pitch is popped in the air. Tony Kubek, the shortstop, is pounding his glove on the edge of the outfield grass and makes the catch. And boy, that one was way up there. Woody Held had time to get all the way down to second base before Kubek made the catch. 2-way. Here's George Strickland, who was called out on strikes and flied out to center field. Strickland had his first homer of the year the other day against the Red Sox to win a game for Cleveland. Right-hand hitter. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Strickland is hit in the air to straightaway center field. Mickey Mantle drifting under it and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So for Cleveland, nothing across in the top of the 6th inning. The score at the end of 5.5 innings, Cleveland 3 and the Yankees 3. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Skowron, Richardson, and Boyer facing Dick Stigman. So Bobby Locke, who started, is relieved of the responsibility of either the win or the loss in this ball game. He cannot be the winning or losing pitcher. It's Stigman and Ditmar. Skowron bounced to short and beat out a bunt. 1 for 2. Pitch to the Moose is a curve high, ball 1. Pearsall is not playing quite as shallow against Skowron as he has for the other Yankee hitters. Ground ball past the pitcher. Aspermani at second, up with it. Over to Vic Powell, 1 away. Moose hit that right off the end of his bat. Could have split it. The pitcher dove for it, couldn't get to it, but Aspermani was playing Moose over towards second. 1 away. There's Bobby Richardson, who walked and singled. Bobby has scored 1 run. His 11th run of the year, by the way. First pitch to Richardson is in there, strike called. Bobby bluffed a bunt, but nobody was charging in. Sign on the scoreboard. Skowron leads the American League in doubles with 15. Pitch to Richardson is hit on the ground to the shortstop. Woody held in the big hop. Fires to first. In time to get him. Boy, did he throw that one. One of the strongest throwing arms of any infielder, or outfielder for that matter, Woody held. As Richardson hit a high Baltimore chop down on him, he had to get rid of it and put plenty on it. 2 out. Here's Cletus Boyer, who doubled and walked. Boyer has driven in a run and scored a run. 3-3 the score, bottom of the 6th. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Boyer is in there, strike call. Stigman has a very unusual windup, almost as though there were a man on base. Sort of faces towards first base. A curve inside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is swung at and missed. Strike 2. Might have foul tipped that one as Boyles dropped the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stigman goes to the rosin bag. Here's the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Strike 3 swinging, got him on a sharp breaking curveball. That's the first strikeout of the ball game for any Cleveland pitcher, and for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th, no runs, no hits, no Indian errors, and nobody left. The score at the end of 6 full innings, Cleveland 3 and the Yankees 3. Another look at the scoreboard. White Sox 7, Red Sox 2 at the end of 4. Kansas City 3, Baltimore 3 at the end of 5. Tigers 7, Washington nothing at the end of 4. In the National League, Cubs beat the Phillies 6-1. Pirates and Cardinals tied 1-1 at the end of 2.5. Cincinnati at Los Angeles and Milwaukee at San Francisco start later on. We haven't said too much yet about the All-Star game to be played at Yankee Stadium, and that's on Wednesday afternoon, July 13th. Tickets are not on sale as yet, and no orders are being accepted. The public sale of All-Star tickets will be announced shortly, perhaps in a week or maybe 10 days. Just watch for the announcement, because this is a game you'll surely want to attend. And another reminder, get those tickets in now for the Day of Days at Yankee Stadium. Old Timers Day, Saturday, August the 13th. Well, we've got quite a ball game going here as we get ready to go in the top of the 7th inning. And Hank Foils, who has hit 2, sending the Yankee outfielders deep on both of them, ready to step into the batter's box, ready to go. Mel Allen.
Hello there, everybody. Art Ditmar delivers outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. This is the 3rd time that Foils has led off in the game. One ball, no strikes. The outfield straight away. Now the pitch is inside. Ball 2, 2-0. A 2-0 count on the right-handed hitting Hank Foils, who originally was in the Yankee farm system. Now the pitch, swung on, the drive into left center. Mantle moves over to take it. 1 down, and here's Dick Stigman. He's had 1 for 5 this season. Bobby Richardson runs in from his position to talk to Ditmar. Actually, Ditmar wanted to say something to him. Stigman, right-hand batter. Ditmar's pitch is outside, ball 1. Indians 3, Yankees 3 in the 7th inning. Ditmar's next pitch is low outside for ball 2, 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch in there, strike 1, 2-1. The pitch swung on, bounced to Richardson. He gloves it beautifully, going to his left and throws him out. Bobby Richardson flashing over to his left to make a one-hand pickup of the bid for the base hit. Now Jimmy Pearsall tripled, hit to the box, and singled to left. Takes high and inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. It's in there, strike 1, 1-1. Outfield straight away. Jimmy's off on a hitting spree. Now the delivery. High, ball 2, change of pace. The 2-1 pitch to the right-hand batter. Swung on, say, fly ball into left. Lopez waiting and takes it. Side is retired.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, Cleveland 3, New York 3. The battery for Cleveland is Stigman and Boyles. Takes two to tango, as they say. Same way with beer. Lightness is fine, but that's just a half of it. To really refresh, a beer must have lightness plus flavor, and that's Ballantine all the way. It's the light beer with true lager flavor. Matter of fact, it proves to more and more people every day that a beer can be light and still give you all the downright delicious lager beer flavor you want. All of which explains why Ballantine beer is the crisp refresher. So if lightness alone won't do for you, if you want a beer with flavor too, then you just open up or order up smooth, delicious Ballantine beer, the crisp refresher. You'll see why Ballantine's the largest selling beer in the East. We mean all the way from Maine to Florida. The last half of the 7th inning, Art Ditmar is first up. Then Tony Kubek and Hector Lopez. Dick Stigman in relief of Bobby Lott has been extremely effective. Ditmar singled to center and hit to the box into a double play. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Ditmar is outside, ball 2, fastball. The big left-hander to the windup aims this one, and it's over. Strike 1, 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Strike 2, 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes. And the next pitch is inside for ball 3, 3-2. Stigman into the windup round, comes the left arm, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Second strikeout in a row for Stigman. 1 out, and the batter now is Tony Kubek. Fly to left center, grounded to first, and walked. The pitch is high, ball 1. Next delivery, swung on and popped up into the air to the left of the mound. Held gets the call, makes the catch. 2 away, and here's Hector Lopez. Grounded to short, single to center, and lined to first into a double play. The paid attendance tonight is 46,030. 46,030 with an overall total, including servicemen admitted free, of 46,866. The largest crowd of the season at the stadium. The pitch to Lopez. Curveball over, strike one. Three, last of the seventh. And the one strike pitch. High fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch swung on and popped up to Woody Held, backing up on the grass, back of shortstop. He makes the catch, and the side's retired. 7 in a row retired by Stigman of the 8 men he's faced. And not a ball has really been hit to the outfield. That ball has just popped up just back of short. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 7 innings, Cleveland, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. 4 left on. New York, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 5 men left on base. The White Sox 8, the Red Sox 2 at the end of 5 innings. Kansas City at Baltimore 3-3 at the end of 5.5. Detroit 7, Washington nothing at the end of 4.5. In the National League, Cubs beat the Phils today, 6-1. Tonight, Pittsburgh at St. Louis, 1-1 at the end of 3 innings. Cincinnati at Los Angeles, Milwaukee at San Francisco. Coast time start. Before we go to the 8th inning, why don't you enjoy a tall, frosty glass full of Ballantine beer, the light beer with true lager flavor, the crisp refresher. Ken Aspromonte first up in the 8th inning, batting second in the order. Harvey Keene on deck and Tito Francona to follow. Aspromonte's had 2 for 3. He singled to center, grounded to short, and singled to right. Art Ditmar has been in there all the way, into the windup, and the pitch outside, ball 1. Now the delivery, swung on, hit to the box. Ditmar tosses on to Skowron to retire Aspromonte. Harvey Keene grounded to short into a double play, single to center, and then double to left. Ditmar's delivery in there, strike 1. Next pitch, in there, strike 2, curveball. Ditmar's pitch swung on, a pop-up, and nobody's going to get it, and Keene's going to beat it. A little pop-up behind the mound that neither Richardson nor Kubek could get to, and Ditmar might have caught it, but he sort of looked around for somebody else to make the play. And so Keene has a base hit on a ball that dropped between the mound and second base. Tito Francona flied to right, hit to the box, and grounded to second. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Ditmar to the stretch. The pitch to Francona, swung on, lined into center for base hit. Keene stops at second. Mantle tosses on to Kubek. And here now is Vic Power.
And the Indians pick up the break that is always important in a game like this. On the Keene base hit, Tito Francona keeps it alive with a line base hit to center, and here's Vic Power, who lined to third, doubled to left, and grounded out to third. Woody held on deck. 10 hits for the Indians. Ditmar delivers in there for a strike. Vic Power hits the ball to all fields. Batting .331 on the season as the game began. And Ditmar asks for the sign again from Berra. Keene moves off second, Francona off first, and the pitch swung on and popped up. Skowron under it and foul ground, and they're 2 away. Power fouls out to Skowron. Now here's Woody held and grounded to third and short and popped out to short. Into the stretch, and the pitch swung on and fouled off out of play in the upper deck. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Keene moves off second, Francona off first. Art Ditmar delivers, and held, swings and bounces it towards short. Kubek up with it, throws on to Skowron in time, and the side's retired. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. At the end of 7.5 innings, score remains Cleveland 3, New York 3. In the last half of the 8th inning, Mantle, Maris, and Berra coming up. Whenever you're in the mood for some refreshment, try Frosty Cool Ballantine beer, the crisp refresher. It's good, and I'll tell you why. Ballantine beer has what you ought to have to really refresh you: lightness plus flavor. Ballantine beer is the light beer with true lager flavor. It proves a beer can be truly light and still give you all the honest-to-goodness lager beer flavor you want. That's why Ballantine beer is the crisp refresher. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a foam-topped glass full of the crisp refresher. Ballantine beer goes great with a good ball game. Goes great anytime. We pause for station identification.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. Time in 25 seconds. 2 minutes after 10.
It's the last of the 8th. Mantle batting right-handed for the first time tonight. He's had 1 for 2. Grounded to first, single to center, and walked. Dick Stigman's pitch in there for a strike. Left-hander to the windup, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 0-2.
the 2-strike pitch. Swung on. There's a drive to deep left. And that ball is gone for a home run. Into the left field seats for his 12th home run on a no-ball, 2-strike count. 4-3 New York, and Roger Maris takes it high, ball 1. Six home runs for Mickey since the first of the month. The pitch to Maris, swung on, hit foul down back of first. Strike 1, 1-1. That ball was a line drive, and while it wound up well back into the seats, it began to sink as it neared the barrier, and we had to hold back to see whether Francona was going to get to it or not. The 1-1 pitch to Maris. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Mantle's 12th homer and 26 runs batted in, 2 tonight. Now the pitch swung on. It's a high fly ball into right center. Jimmy Pearsall getting under it. Makes the catch. Run away. And here's Yogi Berra. Fly to left, grounded to first twice. Stigman into the windup. In comes the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1. 4-3 New York. Now the delivery. Ball 1, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery. Over, strike 2, 1-2. Yogi didn't like the call. The 1-2 pitch on its way. Inside, 2-2. Now the 2-2 delivery, swung on and hit into right field for a base hit. Yogi pulled it between Power and Aspromonte, a soft liner. Aspromonte broke to his left, but couldn't catch up to it. Bill Skowron coming up. Grounded to short, beat out a bunt, and grounded to second. Checks Yogi. Here's the pitch. Swung on, say fly ball into right. Harvey Keene makes the catch, and Yogi goes back to first. 2 down, and Bobby Richardson coming up. Dick Stigman, who relieved Bobby Locke in the 5th inning, gave up an infield hit to Maris, and then retired. The next 7 men did not allow a ball to be hit out of the infield until this inning. And all 4 men have hit outside the infield. Richardson takes it inside for a ball. 2 outs, 1 on and 1 in. Dick Stigman's pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1-1. Now the pitch. Swung on. Little roller down the third baseline. Twist foul. Strike 2. 1-2. In the 9th inning, scheduled to bat are George Strickland, Hank Foyles, and Dick Stigman. Pitch is swung on and grounded foul back of first base. A 1-2 count on Richardson, 2 outs. Berra leads away from first. Stigman's delivery swung on and hit foul down the third base line. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on a high fly ball into short right. Aspromonte out, Keane in, and Aspromonte makes the catch. 1 run on Mantle's homer, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings, New York 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, 6 left on. Cleveland 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on. Mantle is not going out in the 9th inning. He hurt his knee before he hit the homer. He hurt his knee on a sliding effort to get a ball in the let's see what inning it was. Back about the 4th or 5th inning. In the 5th inning, and he kicked the ball with a knee. So Maris is going to center, Lopez to right, and Kubek to left. McDougal to third, and Boyer to short. The White Sox 8, Red Sox 2 and a 5.5 innings. Kemmerer for Chicago. For Boston, Brewer, Sturdivant in the 4th, Bozefield in the 6th. Ted Williams just got a homer in the 6th inning, the 496th of his career. Kansas City 3, Baltimore 3 and of 6.5 innings. Hall and Barber. Detroit 7, Washington 3 and a 6 innings. Bunning for Detroit. Stobbs for Washington. Lee in the 1st, Kralik in the 4th, Cott in the 6th. Bilko had a 3-run homer in the 1st. Johnny Temple is going to come up and bat for Strickland. And Bob Hale will pinch hit for Foyles. In the National League, Chicago beat Philadelphia 6-1 today. Freeman beat Owens. Banks got his 15th homer in the 3rd, the 1 on. St. Louis 3, Pittsburgh 1 end of 4 innings. Jackson against Haddix. Boyer got his 15th homer in the 4th inning. Cincinnati at Los Angeles, Milwaukee at San Francisco later starts. Johnny Temple batting for George Strickland in the 9th inning. Right-hand batter. Art Ditmar's pitch Swung on's a fly ball into right field, and Lopez waiting, takes it for the out. Now Bob Hale, a left-hand batter. With power, he has 5 for 18. Hale hitting for foils. Kent got out onto the field and is running around the outfield. Game's being held up. Kent got loose. Now it's running out center field behind the monuments and along the... Then it stops. Thought it saw a hole. Now it's going along around right field over by the auxiliary scoreboard. And it got through the Yankee bullpen gate. It had quite a sprint. Bob Hale, left-hand batter. Art Ditmar shakes off the sign. Now he's ready. Into the windup and the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Chuck Tanner is out on deck to bat for Stigman. Ditmar up over the head twice, and the pitch. Curve is lined into right field, foul. Strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Ditmar into the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 away, and here's Chuck Tanner hitting for Dick Stigman. Tanner had been on the disabled list. He fell in his home over the winter and tore his Achilles tendon. Put back on the active roster this past week. McDougald and Berra talking with Ditmar. Trying to find out how to pitch him, and they looked over in the dugout, and somebody's kidding, they held their hands out. We don't know. Pearsall's on deck. Chuck Tanner, left-hand hitter. Ditmar to the windup, and the pitch is low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, a foul ball down the first base line, strike 1. The 1-1 pitch to Tanner, swung on, there's a fly ball to short center. Maris coming on fast, he's got it, and the ball game's over. And the Yankees win it 4-3. Art Ditmar all the way. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And Mickey Mantle's home run in the 8th inning decides the issue finally. And as we get ready to give you the totals, pour yourself some of that crisp refresher Ballantine beer, the light beer with true lager flavor. The totals: New York 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 6 men left on. Cleveland, 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 6 men left on.
Art Ditmar all the way to win it. His fourth win. He's lost 3, 1-0 against Cleveland this season. Dick Stigman, who relieved Bobby Locke in the 5th inning with 2 out, is charged with a defeat. His 4th. He's 1-2. He's 1-1 against New York on the season. Yankees win their 4th in a row and 6 out of their last 7. And stop the Indians' 5-game winning streak and put themselves within 2.5 lengths with the Indians.
Well, that winds up another Valentine baseball broadcast. And now this is Bob Delaney saying that's all for now from the Atlantic Refining Company and your friendly Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go. And P. Valentine & Sons, brewers of the crisp refresher Valentine beer, the largest selling beer in the East. This